We are here live at the WOC 2013, and we're here with Christopher Bennett from Husqvarna. Now, Chris, what's the big promotion that Husqvarna has going on outside on the demonstration slabs today?
Jason, we got a lot of stuff going on there right now. The big one for us is our push for surface preparation, Husqvarna Hyperfloor.
Okay.
We get a chance for people out there to see dual drive technology, our densification system, potassium, lithium based, as well as our GM3000 latex based grouts. We've got a salt and pepper floor. We've got a deep aggregate floor.
Okay.
And then we have a third floor where we've introduced different things into the matrix. These nuts and bolts, screws, and we've polished right over that. It looks amazing.
So to give it
should really come out and see it.
A very cool little decorative aspect to everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Very cool. Okay, good. And then you said the GM3000. You're promoting that as well. Okay, very nice.
GM3000 is a little different from some of your traditional polished concrete grouts. It's latex based, and all that latex does is act as basically a bond.
Okay.
So when you're grinding over the floor and creating the concrete dust, the latex binds it together, and you essentially squeegee it into all the pores and the areas that were pop-outs.
Right.
And because it's still Portlandite, it densifies, it takes the color, unlike some of your epoxy grouts. That are on the market currently.
Okay, very cool, very nice. And then you guys have your, I know you have some great vacuum systems.
We do.
There was a little vacuum system that I used when I came over. Is one of those out there?
The 1400, it is.
Yeah, that can plug it, the hand grinder can plug into it.
Exactly.
That thing was amazing. And it turns on when you turn the hand grinder on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just need to use your thumb. It operates the whole system, and it's got a self-cleaning filter. It sounds like somebody's knocking at the door. Every few seconds or so, you'll hear this whoomp, whoomp, whoomp. And that's the automated system that shakes the filters so you can keep busy and get to work.
Right, very cool, very cool. Okay, all right, good. Anything else out there? Anything that you can think of besides, got the vacuums and the machines?
There's tons of stuff out there, but you're going to have to go out and see it for yourself.
Okay, all right, wonderful. Then we'll cut that one. Then with this one, like we said, what do we think? We'll just do, you're very big into, actually, can we talk about, you're big into doing the architect lunch and learns, and do you have any tips for the contractors as to, first of all, why you're so big into them, and then maybe some ideas as to, or some tips that they should know beforehand before getting into that. Is that allowed?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So. Yeah. Well, Dave will look.
We can edit it after. Exactly. Okay.
I think it'll be fine. Yeah.
Let me get this out of my mouth. So I'm going to reference that you're the Husqvarna Architect Lunch and Learn expert, right? And you go from architect to architect and train them. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. All right. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Now, also, Chris, you are the Architect Lunch and Learn expert for Husqvarna. Is that correct?
I do. I'm Husqvarna's architectural specifications consultant.
Okay.
And I meet with architects all over the country to educate them for best practices on surface preparation, and definitely in the increasingly large market of concrete polishing.
Now, that's a huge benefit to contractors, to your contractors as well, correct? The contractors that own a Husqvarna piece of equipment, you're kind of going out and selling floors for them almost.
I try to do my best, and take care of the people that take care of us. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Now, what are some tips for an architect lunch and learn for setting up or prior to getting to a lunch and learn? What are some tips that you have for some contractors that you would say you've come across that could really help them when they're setting these up?
Know who you're going in to talk with, first of all. If you're going into a firm and their specialty is residential, or maybe it's commercial, industrial, know who you're going to talk to and make sure that you have the experience to suit their needs. And number two, you need to find out, I don't know, I'm losing.
That's fine.
I was going on a thing. So.
No, that's fine. Well, because I know we talked about before, there was obviously the commercial or the residential. Is decorative ever something that you need to prepare for, or do you not really get into a decorative conversation specifically? It's more functionality with your...
Husqvarna does not, aside from densification chemicals, we don't get into the dyes or some of the higher end or more detailed decorative work. So we certainly come across it, but it's hard for us to make any concrete recommendations. And so usually what we'll like to do is affiliate ourselves or work with a manufacturer or somebody that represents those products who does know what they're talking about, and that way we're presenting the best information for the best end results.
Now, is this a year-round strategy to have a lunch and learn, would you say, or is it just strictly for the slow times? You know, what type of approach would you think that the contractors, and even what approach does Husqvarna take when it comes to?
It's never a bad time to have a lunch and learn. If you're not going out and educating specifiers, designers, and architects on best practices or how to use the technology, how you use your technology, the entire industry suffers from it. And then people get away with cutting corners because nobody knows any better.
So you see it as deeper than introducing polished concrete. You're really educating and creating a relationship with these architects.
It's creating a relationship, and it's obviously an effort, a drive to sell product, to keep everybody employed. But more importantly than that, for the entire industry, for all manufacturers, you want to elevate the game. And the way to do that is to increase the designer's understanding of the process. Once you do that, everything else follows with it, and you're allowed to be more creative.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Chris. We appreciate you stopping by, and we'll talk with you very soon.
All right.
All right.